Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. In the past week, we've witnessed some significant movement related to the hydrocarbon law, HCL, which holds crucial implications not only for Iraq's oil revenues but also for regional stability, governance, and the country's overall economic health. The HCL has been a sticking point in Iraq for years, particularly between the central government in Baghdad and the Kurdistan Regional Government, KRG, in Erbil. The recent progress we've seen on this front, particularly in relation to salary agreements, signals more than just a political compromise. It may be a strategic maneuver tied to broader financial restructuring, including the long-anticipated revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Why is the HCL important in this context? Iraq is heavily reliant on oil revenues, and the way these revenues are distributed among various regions, particularly between Baghdad and the semi-autonomous Kurdish region, has been a contentious issue for years. Any agreement that facilitates a smoother, more transparent distribution of oil wealth is a crucial indicator that the political climate in Iraq is stabilizing. This stability is essential for creating the environment necessary for significant economic reforms, such as a currency revaluation. The fact that salaries, a long-disputed issue under the HCL, are now being agreed upon suggests that the various political factions are finally aligning toward a common economic goal. These salary agreements likely couldn't have been reached without some forward planning about the country's economic future. The idea that they may have been made with the understanding of a forthcoming revaluation of the dinar holds weight, especially given recent developments. When a country is negotiating over such essential matters as salaries, particularly those that are tied to oil revenues, which fluctuate with international market conditions, it makes sense that they would need a degree of confidence about their currency's stability and value moving forward. If those salaries are being agreed upon now, it's reasonable to assume that there's at least an understanding, if not an outright decision, about an impending change in the value of the dinar. This brings us to the issue of money laundering and its ties to Iran. Iraq has been under pressure from the international community to curb illegal financial flows, particularly to its neighbor Iran, given the sanctions that the latter country is under. Money laundering has been a persistent issue that not only hinders economic reforms but also affects Iraq's international standing and relationships with financial institutions around the world. The announcement that Iraq's money laundering issues with Iran have been addressed is another strong indicator that the country is aligning itself for a revaluation of its currency. Cleaning up its financial system is a necessary step before any revaluation can take place. No international body or financial institution would support a currency reform if there were lingering concerns about illicit financial activities, particularly with a sanctioned country like Iran. Moreover, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammad Shia al-Sudani's comment about lifting the value of the dinar during his term is perhaps the most direct indication yet that the Iraqi government is planning a revaluation. The fact that Sudani made this statement publicly is significant, as it reflects a level of confidence and commitment to this plan. The time frame he provided, suggesting that this could happen within the next few months, aligns with other developments, including the progress on the HCL, the resolution of money laundering issues, and the country's broader economic reform plans. It is also crucial to note that Sudani's term doesn't extend indefinitely, so his promise carries a sense of urgency that is reassuring to those who have been following these developments closely. Now, let's explore why this combination of factors is critical. Any currency revaluation requires not just economic readiness but political and regulatory stability. Over the past few years, Iraq has struggled with internal divisions, corruption, and external pressures from regional actors, all of which have delayed economic reforms. However, the recent convergence of progress on key issues like the HCL, money laundering, and Sudanese public commitment suggests that Iraq may finally be in the position to move forward with revaluing its currency. Currency revaluation is a complex process that requires careful coordination with international financial institutions, central banks, and sometimes even foreign governments. The fact that Sudan feels confident enough to make public statements about the dinar's value being lifted suggests that these entities are likely already on board, or at least in discussions with the Iraqi government. These behind-the-scenes discussions could involve setting up safeguards to prevent inflation, ensuring the Iraqi banking system can handle the transition, and coordinating with Iraq's trading partners to mitigate any shocks that a sudden revaluation could bring. At this point, it's important to recognize that Iraq has been slowly building toward this moment. Economic reform has been a long-term goal for many Iraqi leaders, but the obstacles have been significant. The country's dependence on oil has made it vulnerable to fluctuations in global energy markets, and internal political divisions have often hampered effective governance. Nevertheless, the past few months have seen a series of steps that indicate Iraq is ready to take a more assertive role in managing its own economic future. The implications of a dinar evaluation are far-reaching. For one, it would likely attract a wave of foreign investment, as international companies and investors look to take advantage of Iraq's relatively untapped markets and natural resources. A stronger dinar would also make it easier for Iraq to pay off its foreign debts, negotiate more favorable trade deals, and enhance its standing in global financial markets. Domestically, a revaluation could help to stabilize inflation, increase the purchasing power of Iraqi citizens, and reduce the cost of imports, all of which would contribute to improving the country's overall economic health. However, the path forward is not without its risks. Currency revaluations can sometimes lead to short-term economic disruptions, particularly if they are not managed carefully. For instance, if the revaluation is too steep, it could lead to an influx of speculative investment, which might create volatility in the financial markets. There's also the risk that a stronger dinar could hurt Iraq's export competitiveness, as its goods and services would become more expensive for foreign buyers. This is particularly relevant given Iraq's reliance on oil exports. That being said, the fact that Iraq is addressing its internal issues, particularly with regard to money laundering and governance, suggests that the government is taking a cautious and methodical approach to the revaluation process. It's likely that they are consulting with international experts to ensure that any changes to the dinar's value are sustainable in the long term. Looking ahead, the next few months will be critical. If the progress on the HCL continues and Iraq manages to implement more financial reforms, we could indeed see the revaluation of the dinar that has been anticipated for so long. The fact that these various elements, political agreements, economic reforms, and regulatory changes are all coming together suggests that Iraq may finally be ready to take this significant step forward. For those who have been following the dinar closely, this is a moment to watch carefully. While it's important to remain cautious, the signs are pointing in the right direction. The Iraqi government appears to be serious about moving forward with its plans, and the international community seems to be supporting these efforts. So, as you said, buckle up and try not to lose faith. It seems like Iraq is finally on the verge of a major economic breakthrough. This is a brief expansion of your points. I can continue elaborating by going deeper into each point, integrating more historical data, and exploring various scenarios to further increase the word count. Let me know if you'd like to proceed in that direction or if you want to focus on specific areas. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.